This person is under the effects of gravity. But what is gravity? Well, gravity is defined as the force, or pull, that attracts an object towards the center of the earth, or towards another object that has mass. Gravity helps to keep us on the ground, and it's the reason you're not floating in the middle of space right now. Whenever we are under the effects of gravity, our body gets pulled towards the earth, whether we're sitting, standing, doing yoga. We're always pulled towards the ground to stay stable. Although gravity has existed since the dawn of time when gigantic lizards ruled the world, it wasn't discovered until the year 1687 when Sir Isaac Newton published his book, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica. In this book, he mentions the 3 laws of motion and the universal laws of gravity. He was prompted to write this book and study further into gravity when Newton saw an apple fall off a tree. No, an apple. The apple made him think about how objects get pulled towards the earth. Unlike what many people say, the apple sadly did not fall on Newton's head like we thought. Although Newton could describe gravity, he could not explain exactly how it worked. That's when Albert Einstein comes in. In 1915, Einstein stated that gravity was a natural consequence of a mass's existence in space. He explained how gravity gets warped by other objects, like when you step on a trampoline. So Einstein's general relativity explained everything Newton said and more. So we know how gravity was discovered, but how does it affect us? Well, we are under the effect of gravity when we walk down the street, or to the kitchen to grab the last bag of Doritos before your little sister does. And when we drop something, gravity pulls the object to the biggest mass, which is the floor. And when you go on a trip to the beach, the waves are caused by the moon's gravitational pull on the water. And black holes are just gravity pulling everything, even light into it, without letting it escape. We see gravity in many aspects of our life. To give you a physical demonstration of exactly how gravity works, we have a sheet which will represent the gravitational field. When we take marbles or oranges and drop them into the sheet, they roll into each other and create a dip. This shows how when objects are placed on the gravitational field, they get pulled into each other, and depending on the mass of the object, will dip in the field. Now, gravity isn't the same for every object. For example, an elephant doesn't have the same gravitational pull as a peanut. Objects that have more mass have more of a gravitational pull than objects with less mass.
No, don't drop that!
Keep in mind that mass is different from weight. Mass is the measure of how much matter is in an object, and weight is the measure of the force of gravity on the object. Every object has the same mass, no matter where it is, but weight depends on how strong the gravitational pull is. To show this, let's talk about the moon again. If a person has a mass of 70 kilograms on Earth, they also have a mass of 70 kilograms on the moon. But because the moon has less of a gravitational pull, that person will weigh less on the moon than they would on Earth. That's why astronauts bounce very high when they are standing on the moon. Let's say you're at the top of the Empire State Building and are going through spare change, for some reason, and accidentally drop a penny. If the penny falls and hits a person on the head, legend says they'll die. This isn't true because the penny can't gather enough velocity to damage somebody's head to the point of death.
Now we're going to cut to Dr. Skaberchlin in the lab. Dr. Skaberchlin, is there any way that you can defy gravity without any outside help?
No.
Well, there you have it.
So how do we calculate gravity? Well, there are 2 different ways to calculate this. We can either find the force of gravity or the acceleration due to gravity, which is just the acceleration of the masses that are being pulled together. These are both represented with formulas. The formula for force of gravity is F grav equals capital G m1 m2 divided by d squared. As for acceleration due to gravity, the formula is lowercase g equals capital G times m divided by r to the second power. Overall, gravity has many uses, and we see it in real life more often than you think.
It surrounds all masses and works when these masses are pulled together.
This has been Maddie
And Molly's Video Over Gravity.
We
Hope
you've
enjoyed
and
will see you
any words for the rat?
This rat was really gross and held us from filming for 2 minutes. But out of respect, we will now have a singing of taps. Taps, taps, 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 taps. Taps, taps. Taps, taps, taps.
Alright, you ready? He was prompted to write this book and study further into gravity, which...
something like that.
Something like that.
Oh my gosh. Maddie.
What?
I forgot to press play.
I think we're getting my clothes wet.
Oh, it's so cold! I mean, it's so cold! Ah!
It's very cold. I apologize.
You can do it.
It's so cold!
Okay. Ready? It's -5.
Okay. Oh, it is cold. Now in the stew, I will put 1 human child leg and the blood